Hello everybody, Epic Mewtwo here. Today we are back for another Dokkan Battle News video. Today we are going to be covering all of the updated information since, well, I guess technically today, but last night slash morning, and now it's the nighttime right before all of this should come out. We are going to be covering Dokkan's April Fool's Celebration Dokkan Race. This is certainly an interesting thing. I'm very glad that this actually ended up being pretty cool, because if you watched yesterday's news video, you would know that I was a little bit skeptical about what Dokkan was going to be doing for April Fool's this year. So we have plenty of information that we're going to go over. We do have JP's campaign as well to go over, on top of some other stuff that was updated from some data mining stuff that I talked about in yesterday's video. So let's get into everything. First of all, we're going to be taking a look at the Dokkan race information on the global side, because obviously we can read it. And also Global has had a updated post of it, giving some more fake updates to the game. JP does as well have where is it? Here we go. It has Dokkan Race as well, but it doesn't have that updated thing, and obviously it's in Japanese, so we're gonna read it on the English version. Now, keep in mind, I gotta say it. This isn't actually a real new game mode coming, though I do really wish it was, because it would be so cool if it was. Funny enough, Legends is also doing a car-related thing for April Fool's Day, where they're doing learning how to drive, like the Piccolo and Goku episode. Kind of funny that both have a car theme. I wonder if that's a coincidence. But let's go over what we got earlier today, and then we'll look at the update. A new mode, Dokkan Race, will soon be available. Aim to be the fastest in the universe. On the 1st, the new racing mode, Dokkan Race, will be available in Dokkan. So, I saw this image, and I was very confused, because I was like, how do some of these people relate to having a vehicle? But the creativity that they whipped out for this is fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the 10 racers in the Dokkan Race. The new mode, Dokkan Race, you can compete in races using characters from the Dragon Ball series. Take each racer's trait and personality into consideration to find the one that best suits your racing style. First-hand information on the feature racers will be revealed in this announcement. So this is so cool. So starting off, we have Goku here with the Flying Nimbus, which makes sense. Is that Maniacal? I think that is. A cloud that only good kids can ride on. The little things that they did for this is so funny. Acceleration, speed, handling, and rarity, because obviously Nimbus is a super rare item in the Dragon Ball universe. I love this background. I really wish I was able to get the background of this by itself. As you can see, it says Dragon Ball Z Race in the background. It looks really cool. We have Frieza with the hover chair, an amazing vehicle that allows one to move freely, even in space. Acceleration, speed, handling, and mobility. This is pretty funny. They got Tao with the pole, a high-speed vehicle created from an ordinary pole. Acceleration, speed, handling, and cost. Very cheap, right, to produce, because he just breaks a pole. Master Roshi rides Turtle. The older, the wiser. Show them the tenacity of the elderly. Acceleration, speed, handling, and age is max. So good. Many other distinctive characters will also be available. Check for the live broadcasts of the exhibition race at News. So as you can see here, we also do have a fantastic image of a little bit of promo. You can see all the characters getting ready to race here, which is so fantastic. I love when they do this kind of stuff for these new game modes, because it just brings it all together like it really is a new thing. Before we released, there will be an exhibition race in which all racers have competed. On the 31st, the process of the race will be updated 3 hours via in-game announcement. Don't miss the live broadcast. So again, basically it's not real, of course, but it's just sort of giving you a little bit of a little memerino. So here, the next, come back to check the progress, right? So now we have a colored version of this image before, which is so cool. As you can see, it's the same thing. The race is about to begin. A total of 10 racers are now gathered at the racetrack located in West City. Although this is just an exhibition race, the raiders are fighting spirits are surely burning. Can you feel the tension in the air? So obviously we have everybody here. The Vegetas is the most unique one, I think, and we'll look at that here. because I think oh no, they didn't update it with him. Okay, well, either way, let's take a look at the image again. Vegeta uses a Saiyan pod to race, bro. That is so creative. Obviously, Krillin uses his police little buggy. Roshi is on Turtle. Frieza has the pod. Bulma has the motorcycle. Gohan has Icarus. Yamcha has his speeder from Dragon Ball. Ulan's just running. Goku has Nimbus. But I love that they did Vegeta with the Saiyan pod. That's so clever. Anyhow, moving on. The exhibition race is finally kicking off. So this is like the live broadcast, right? I love this image so much. This is so cool. Oolong in first. He's rocketing ahead, right? And they give you all the different placements of everybody. First in the lead is Oolong, who has literally done a rocket start. Following close behind are Mercenary Talon Krillin. Wait, Vegeta just wandered off all by himself. Who will end up in first place? Stay tuned for the next update. So I love when they do stuff like this. You know, I love every April Fool's to see whatever they come up with because it's so cool. I am a super big fan of this kind of stuff, especially when they take Dokkan and make it into something else, because it's such a creative way to like kind of use the game's assets and mix up what the game is all about, right? It's the kind of stuff that I like to come up with when it comes to Dokkan content. I love to try and make, you know, kind of different creative stuff with the game. And this is the kind of stuff I like to see. So this really hits close to home. So very cool. The Bulma event for this should be coming out tonight, because obviously Bulma, if we take a look at, actually it should be on the global schedule as well. Let's take a look at that. But essentially on the JP side, yesterday when we took a look at it, yes, it is coming out at 11:30 p.m. PDT, so CST for me that is 1:30 a.m. Which will be in a few hours from now. So that is when her event should go live. But nonetheless, though, this is super, super cool. I absolutely love when they do this kind of stuff. Besides the Dokkan race thing, though, unfortunately, Global's campaign has not gotten announced, which is a little bit weird. I don't know why they haven't announced it by now, considering the cards come out like we saw in a couple of hours. I'm not going to be making a video on the campaign specifically because obviously I'm making a video on this now, but if you check in the link in the description in the Discord, we do have a Dokkan news channel, and whenever Dokkan news happens, as soon as it happens, we always update it there first. So definitely go ahead and check that out because it will be live there as soon as the news goes up. Alright, so moving on, that is kind of all we have for Global, unfortunately. We already knew that 13 was coming, but still very cool that we were able to get some information for that. Again, JP got the Dokkan Race thing too, but just not the updated one. And we do have the campaign for JP. So very interesting stuff with this. One, we obviously have the login bonus and the campaign, or not campaign, sorry, missions. But the next thing to notice that's really interesting is already you can see SSBK's banner has been changed. Because, of course, this was not the same banner that was on the global version. Let's go ahead and pop up to global and take a look at that. I will be doing a banner comparison video on this as per usual. Because whenever we have a banner that changes between global and JP, I always like to do one of those because it's interesting to kind of compare and contrast. But let me pull up SSBK here. He should be, yeah, right here. So obviously we have Future Gohan nowhere to be seen on this banner, right? And he is on this banner. So I'm expecting a few changes. Obviously Super Saiyan 3 Bardock was also just on the brand new Bardock banner. So I assume that those units will probably be changed. I don't know if Future Gohan is technically replacing Bardock, and then the rest of these units will be here, because obviously this banner, besides Bardock, is themed to the Tournament of Power. So it'll be interesting to see what they change up for this banner. Again, I will make a video on that in specific, but again, when the banner drops, definitely check the news section in the Discord for that. We also have a brand new category gacha going up for the category, right? I believe this is just Tournament of Power, if I'm not mistaken, because Goku is just a representatives of Universe 7 and Tournament of Power leader, so that should be what this is. Moving on. Elder Kai banner is hitting that reset, which is nice. Always cool when we get an update on that. A super sale, which is probably most likely not going to be an actual super sale. But only time will tell on that. We will see. Global already got this, right? The Dokkan event, as well as the Universe 6 event returning. It's kind of interesting because Global didn't have the Universe 6 event until they released SSBK, but now they are releasing SSBK again with it on JP, and JP already had it. As well as the other Tournament of Power events. Also, too, because April Fool's Day is here, we are going to be getting the 8-bit, there's your April Fool's burp, 8-bit Goku and Vegeta, as well as the Yamcha events for April Fool's back. So, very, very cool for that. It'll be amazing to replay those events because as much as I know it was literally just to, like, farm the units, I'm definitely going to replay it again because it was so much fun. If you didn't farm up any of these guys, now you have the opportunity to. I'm kind of hoping that they revamp Yamcha's event a little bit because at the moment, you can farm baseball Yamcha from his event, but the, I don't know what to call this without getting demonetized, but the tech April Fool's Yamcha, they gave that out as a box price. So if you used it for SA and you didn't use it for potential system, then you couldn't get any more copies, and you still can't to this day unless they decide to give this event a little bit of update and allow you to get some more copies of him, which would be really, really cool. Same thing with the Yamcha in his infamous pose, as it were. I don't remember if there was a specific event for that, but I don't see it here. Hold on, let's go on the wiki. Because I want to, I feel like I remember that. Because that would be a little bit weird if there's not, here's our boy right here. His event, oh no, okay, so it is from the same event. Alright, I was just tripping. I thought that they had two different ones for some reason, but now I remember they have the, 2 stages on that event. We are also getting a Battlefield refresh, which is nice. And with this Battlefield refresh also marks now you are able to get a Rainbow, Mecha Frieza, and King Cole, because until now the last copy was not available. And with this Battlefield run, you will be able to get a copy of them. So that is really, really nice. That is coming out on the 6th. We're getting into some stuff that's coming out a little bit later. We do have Nani. Extreme Z Awakening for Golden Frieza and Int Super Saiyan Trunks, which is pretty cool. Very awesome to see that. Obviously, the Trunks is a brand new one, and the Golden Frieza is simply a reprint. But still very, very awesome for that. And of course, we cannot forget our boy LR Krillin. This is a new Prime battle that is going to be coming out. Very interesting, too, that they decided to move this up. Because in the V-Jump scan for this guy, it said that he was going to be coming out later in April, like towards the end of the month. But he's actually coming out the 9th, JP time. So very interesting that they decided to change that. I can't tell you why they decided to change that. Because that's what the V-Jump info said, although I will admit some, like, text V-Jump info seems to have been kind of incorrect. Like, the new SBR stages we were supposed to get were supposed to come with the 5th year anniversary, and then obviously the EZA SBR came after the 5th year anniversary. So I don't know, V-Jump be tripping lately on the information that's not like the pictures. But Krillin is coming as well, and very, very cool that this guy is going to be getting a EZA. He will probably get a data download eventually because I don't believe we know what he does yet. At least I didn't see any information about it unless I missed it, but like 99.9% sure that I didn't. But regardless, though, again, a banner for his category. Looks like Cooler's going to be on the banner as well. Unless they do a separate banner for Frieza. Frieza will probably be the last unit on this banner as well. And then obviously their Dokkan events will be live. So very, very exciting stuff for that. Very good campaign, honestly. Funny enough, it's kind of weird. I will say, I wanted to mention this before we move on. Well, a lot of this, like, April Fool's stuff wouldn't really be coinciding with SSBK, unless it just happened to fall at the same time, which it does now, right? Because it doesn't relate to SSBK at all. So the event just kind of has that extra stuff because it just happened to fall when April Fool's happened. So kind of interesting there. Something else that I wanted to point out before we move on is that this is such an odd time for Dokkan because both of JP and Global at the moment are both in kind of a state where neither version has new content from the other version. Like, Global is getting Android 13, which has obviously come out on JP already, and nobody really cares about Android 13, period, regardless of the version. And obviously, SSBK has already come out on Global, right? So Global players are already familiar with it. So it's just weird because it's not a lot of like new, like it's new to the specific version, but it's not like new to the community, right? Obviously, besides all of the April Fool stuff, the EZA, and then of course the Dokkan race meme that we will get with this. But yeah, I just thought I'd point that out because I thought it was something interesting, right? Typically, you know, it kind of seems like sometimes when a new version gets like stuff that the other version is out, people are like, oh, you know, it's cool, whatever. So it's like both versions kind of like are just kind of like, you know, day chilling right now, I guess. I don't know, kind of weird. The only other thing I wanted to point out about this as well is that there is actually no mention of Bulma's specific event here, which I think is kind of weird. Obviously, because she is a farmable unit, or at least she has farmable orbs, right? And she'll be a free-to-play unit. I don't remember which one it is specifically, but regardless, she has farmable orbs. She is going to have an event, so it is kind of odd that they haven't announced it. I'm sure that they're doing it that way, though, specifically to keep the illusion, you know, that, like, Dokkan Race is a real thing, and it's not just, like, you know, the April Fool's game mode. So, kind of a little bit of a goof there. But other than that, though, besides that information in the news, there is a couple of other things that I did want to cover. We did get a brand new title screen. If you would like to take a look at that, the assets will be linked in the description. And as well, where is it? This is what the title screen looks like. It is active on both versions at the moment. It's super cool. You should definitely go check it out. One of my favorite title screens, to be sure. Everybody literally races in and then comes to this stopping halt in the front here, and it says Dokkan Race. Absolutely love it. Very, very cool stuff there. So if you would like to check out the assets for that, definitely go ahead and do so. I did post the JP version of it, and the global version. Where is it? The global version here with a bunch of different languages because they're all in the file, so I figured I might as well post them. But yeah, if you'd like to check that out, link in the description for that. I did also want to clarify and just kind of throw this in here because I always kind of like to cover some of the little bit of like information stuff that I cover on Dokkan assets. Basically with these title screen assets, right, if you see these floating around and you're like, why are there 3 different title screens in one when this is the April Fool's one? Basically, right, we'll just read it. Whenever a special title screen is added, they keep some assets of the other title screen within the files because sometimes they just leave leftover images from past title screens. But in this case, they need the assets for those title screens because they're both technically still active. The green one with all the villains is what appears when you first download the game. The one with the SSBs is what people who haven't downloaded the data download will see, and what the game will most likely return to after April Fools. The April Fool's screen is done being used, ergo both still have to be active in the files because they're still in use. They just put them on the same asset cheese as the new one. So if you're curious, that's how that works, because obviously both still need to be active in the game, right? The other thing that's a super interesting thing that we found out today is that her orbs aren't actually black. And I guess that's not part of the April Fool's joke. If you guys watched yesterday's news video and took a look at Dokkan assets, basically when I data mined Bulma's orbs, they were just black squares that were in the shape of the orbs. Turns out that's not the case. As you can see here, here are the actual images of the orbs as they should be for Bulma's event. I give a little bit of update here. So I guess this is what the black box orb images were actually from last night. I've never seen them just add in blacked out image of an asset and then add it to the next download. So weird. They just overwrote the black images in the file, same names and all. Like literally the file names were the same and they just took them over in the assets. Because last night before they looked like this. Remember, if you were watching that video, right? It was just these shapes in the shape of the actual orbs. So kind of weird. I've never seen them actually do that before where they update an orb, and I wanted to talk about this in the news because I literally put it in the thumbnail and the title of the video because I assumed that they were going to be like part of the event, that they were like invisible or something, or they were just going to be like black boxes in the game. But no, they I guess they were just placeholders for adding the assets in. I don't know. They've literally never done something like this before, so not sure on that one, but I wanted to let you guys know regardless. That is the update, and then here is the global version of it, the English one. Accelerate Bulma's Wild Chase. That is going to be the name of Bulma's event. Like I said, we haven't actually got like an image of that in the campaign because, of course, they're trying to mask it as Dokkan Race at the moment. Besides that, though, I did give the title screen for the Android 13, or title screen, the logo, rather, for the Android 13 event because they added in a bunch of other languages. Nothing else really new for global, though I did want to highlight this, and I forgot, actually, that Hydros posted this information a while back during the data download that it happened, but a bunch of stuff got added to global for upcoming events, so it should be, because obviously this stuff is here in the files, like I said on this tweet, that Super Saiyan 3, Goku and Majin Vegeta's Awakening medals and thumbnails are in Global's files in Japanese. Not the thumbnails, because that's just an image, but the Awakening medal, and then obviously the thumbnails of the 5th year LRs are in Global's files. And then Hydros was like, yeah, I already posted about it. Completely forgot. So that was definitely my bad. Like I said here, I vaguely remember now that you said that. Also, too, I haven't downloaded Global's files in a minute, so I hadn't seen it myself, but because I usually only download the game's files when I know that something new is going to be there, right? And since, usually Global doesn't have anything new, I just kind of like let it be. So anyway, though, this kind of leads us to believe that it should be Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Majin Vegeta next, right? As Hydros says here, right? All of the Android 13 stuff being added, the decorations, and then the 5th year LRs. I know a lot of people are like, what do you call it? Like, are thinking that Beerus is going to come after these dual Dokkan Fest with Super Saiyan 3 Goku Majin Vegeta. I don't know if that's going to be the case. They very well could just throw a data download at us and put those assets in there. Only time will tell. I think that would probably make more sense for when the anniversary would be for Global, but I guess we will have to see. But other than that, though, that is everything that we have for the news at the moment. I just kind of wanted to go over all the new updated information that we had, and especially correct that little bit of a goof on my part, or I guess a goof on Bandai's part, that those, like, black placeholder images were just that, placeholders, because that's literally never happened before. So, I don't know. Kind of weird. But nonetheless, I wanted to make sure that that was crystal clear to all of you, that they were actually just normal orbs. And obviously, getting to talk about Dokkan Race is also awesome, because I love whenever Bandai does stuff like this. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. This stuff will be coming out, like I said, at 1:30 a.m. CST for me. So this video is being recorded at 11:31 p.m. So that should be at, what, like 2 hours from now? Maybe like an hour and a half from when this video gets up. So see you then. Having you two out. Peace.